नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी नानाशास्त्रविचार्निका निपनौ सद्धर्म संस्थापकौ लोकानां हितकारिणौ त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्यकरौ राधा कृष्ण पदारविन्द भजन आनन्देन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे रूप सनातनौ रघुयुगौ श्रीजीव गोपालकौ. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the six Goswamis, unto namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiv Goswami, and Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who are very expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all human beings. Thus, they are honored all over the three worlds and they are worth taking shelter of because they are absorbed in the mode of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Radha and Krishna. Synopsis: Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttamam sarvapadhi nirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhaktiruchyate. Our bhakti has to be devoid of all desires. It has to be favorable to Krishna, cultivated as per the instructions and following in the footsteps of Guru Parampara, should not be covered by any kind of karma or jnana kanda. It has to be free from all material designations. You have to take Krishna as the highest object. It is actually a service and it has to be faultless. Five important claims: Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vasa Shri Murtera Shraddhaya Sevana. We should associate with the devotees, chant the holy name of the Lord, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, reside at Mathura, and worship the deity with faith and veneration. The three categories of pure devotional service: Sadhana Bhakti, Bhava Bhakti, and the topmost is the Prema Bhakti. It all starts wherein we don't have the realization for devotion for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we practice to achieve it. Slowly, the realization comes, the affection improves, we get into the Bhava Bhakti, and when the affection is deepest to the greatest extent, then it is Prema Bhakti, which is Krishna Akarshan. Eligibility for Bhakti is mercy of devotee. We should not be overly attached to anything. At the same time, we should not be overly detached. The 64 items of sadhana bhakti, 20 items of importance, pravritti karma 10, nivritti karma 10, 44 additional items, 39, and 5 effective items, which we saw earlier. The 10 items to be accepted, since important, we are repeating them. Taking shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Guru, receiving initiation and spiritual instruction, serving Guru with love, following the path of the sadhus, questions about the procedures of bhajana, renunciation of all material enjoyment for the sake of Krishna, to live in a sacred place and to hear the greatness of such places, accepting only what is required for the sustenance of bhakti, observing Ekadashi Vrata, offering respect to Ashwatha, Tulsi, Amlaki tree, the cows, the Brahmanas, and the Vaishnavas. Activities to be avoided: giving up the association of non-devotees, give the desire to make many disciples, giving up too many undertakings, renouncing the study of many scriptures in order to make novel explanations and arguments, giving up miserly behavior, Vyavahara Karpanya Tyaga, this is very important, giving up lamentation, anger, etc., giving up blasphemy and disrespect of other devotees, giving up harassment of other living entities, giving up all offenses in regard to seva and nama. And we should not tolerate blasphemy of Sri Guru, Sri Krishna, or other devotees. Then we have also seen the categories of offenses, that is seva aprad, nama aprad. Seva aprad is the offensive deity worship, which is less serious because power of holy name automatically corrects the offensive mentality generated by seva aprad. Nama aprad, however, the offense in chanting the holy name is very serious, so it has to be avoided because it cannot be corrected. Then yesterday we have heard about Shravanam, which is the beginning of Krishna consciousness, and that the devotional service is important. So all people should be given the chance to come and join devotional parties so that they may hear. Hearing is very important for Krishna consciousness. One who is able to have his ear listen to the transcendental vibrations quickly becomes purified and cleansed in the heart. Lord Chaitanya has also affirmed that this hearing is very important because it says it cleanses the heart of the contaminated soul so that he becomes quickly qualified to enter into devotional service and understand Krishna consciousness. Cheto Darpana Marjana. Three types of hearing is what we saw yesterday. Namashravana, that is hearing the Nam. The example was in the Garud Purana, and the mantra which is said in Garud Purana is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Second is Charita Shravana, or hearing about the pastimes of Lord. Example which we saw in the 4th canto, and also Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended this, especially in the age of Kali. And third is Gun Adi Shravana, hearing about the qualities, etc. of Krishna. Example we saw yesterday from the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then we have also seen about expecting the Lord's mercy. So every suffering can be transformed into an opportunity to sadhana bhakti. So that is mentioned in Bhagavatam 10th canto, 14th chapter, 8th verse. Two ways are mentioned. One is we should accept one's suffering as Lord's mercy, understanding that by karma one deserves even worse. So what we say is maybe we would have got much more bad, but because we are doing some bhakti, we are saved. Second, repeatedly offer obeisances to the Lord within one's mind while undergoing skillful reactions. So though we are suffering, we should continuously offer our obeisances. And that is what is mentioned in this verse. Tatte anukampam susamikshamano bhunjan eva atmakrutam vipakam vridavagavapubhi vidadhana namaste jiveta yo mukti pade pade sadaya bhaka. So this word daya bhak is very important, and that is what we have concentrated upon. Then yesterday we also saw about remembrance and meditation. So some way or the other, if someone establishes in his mind his continuous relationship with Krishna, this relationship is called remembrance. And to meditate means to engage the mind in thinking of the form of the Lord, the qualities of the Lord, the activities of the Lord, and the service of the Lord. Meditation does not mean anything impersonal or void. According to Vedic literature, meditation is always on the form of Vishnu. So remembrance means to think of Krishna in general, and meditation is deeper, more detailed contemplation, which again is of 4 types. Rupa Dhyanam, that is meditation on Krishna's form. Guna Dhyanam, meditation on Krishna's qualities. Krida Dhyanam, meditation on Krishna's activities. And Seva Dhyanam, which is meditation on devotional service to Krishna. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamlam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today we are talking about the aspects of transcendental service, which is namely servitude, friendship, and self-surrender. So we have covered a lot of journey till now. Now it becomes very important for us to understand what is that mechanism, what is that way by which our devotional service, our bhakti can become more stronger. It can become more endearing to Krishna. Krishna accepts it and he becomes so satisfied that he gives us the prema bhakti at the earliest. So the thing that we are seeing today, the items that we are seeing today, relate exactly to that. So it's something like very personal now relationship or association that we try to develop with Krishna. And it is through this personal interaction with Lord Shri Krishna that we are serving him and trying to get his favor on us. Because without his favor, we will not get his bhakti that we have seen already in our second class itself. Who can get bhakti? Only who gets the favor of Krishna. And so to get his favor, what we have done is we have gone through a process wherein we are able to please Radharani. And the moment Radharani is going to recommend to Krishna, Krishna is going to favor us, and then we'll be getting the prema bhakti. So let us start with what is servitude. So servitude or dasyam, it is one of the ways to practice devotion, wherein we are acting as Lord's servant. And if you see the book which I have already shared in the Google Drive, there are two divisions to it. One is Karmarpanam. Now what Karmarpanam means is whatever are our activities, we offer them to the Lord. Now this is mentioned that it is one of the ways, but then it is not pure devotional service. Because there are two different activities which you can offer to the Lord. One is fruits of our occupation, and second is the 9 main activities of devotional service, the Navida Bhakti. So we'll be going through it in detail today in our discussions. Now, having understood Karmarpanam, the second one is the Kainkaryam, that is Kainkaryam. So it is serving in the mode of a personal assistant. Now, servitorship, some authors say that just offering the results is called servitorship. So you do something and whatever are the results, karma phala, you give to Lord, and that is DASYAM. But then, according to Vaishnava Acharyas, engagement in service is servitorship. So actually doing the seva, doing something for Krishna, being his dasa is servitorship. And that is why you will find that though Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a strict brahmachari after sannyasi. So after he had taken sannyasa, he never used to allow any kind of females to come near to him. But then he used to always say, who are the best devotees? The gopis of Vrindavan. The kind of love, the kind of devotion, the kind of bhakti they have, no one else can have. And so he used to say, we have to be dasanu gopis. You have to be a servant of the servant of the servant of the gopis who are serving both the Yugala, that is Radha and Krishna. Even if you are going to get even a small percentage of that kind of a devotion, our life would be successful, is what he used to say. So just understand, it is so important. So just giving the results is not dasyam. Actual service, actual engagement in service is the servitorship. And that is what the Vaishnava Acharyas have said. Even Skanda Puran has mentioned about those things. That those who are attached to the Varnashrama, they are considered as devotees. And Madhya Purana also has been saying about Iha Yasya, which we'll be discussing further today. So, constant engagement is something which is important, which is called as Kainkaryam. Sri Prabhupada used to say that those who are actually engaged in offering service to the Lord are pure devotees. So, let us understand the two types of Karmarpanam. So, Karmarpanam we saw, first type is wherein we give the service by the fruits of the prescribed duties. And second is the service by the 9 devotional activities. Now, when we are talking about giving the duties, here what happens is our own desire to engage in certain activities is the main factor. So we want to be engaged in some work or the other. And we want to keep on doing that. And then secondarily, we offer the result of this work to Krishna. So we are continuing some work and then we are giving that result to Krishna. Then this is that we are offering something to Krishna, we are serving Krishna with the results of that food. So the Acharyas say that here this is being overshadowed by jnana, karma, while actually bhakti cannot be overshadowed by all such things. And therefore, though righteous and purifying, surrendering the fruits of duties is not a practice of pure devotional service. It cannot be sadhana. But still, because they are giving something, they are called as devotees. So the second part of Karmarpanam, which is service by the Navvidha. Now here what happens is, our endeavor is not impelled by our proclivities and desires. But we work, we get ourselves engaged in something which Krishna wants. Maybe hearing, chanting, remembering, etc. So here Krishna's wants become primary and not our. And so this is pure devotional service. So this is what the Acharyas have been telling. And that is what is mentioned here. So we have to try to develop the Navvidha type of bhaktis. Now, in the opinion of the Karmis, if you see the whole 11th chapter starts with this statement itself about fruity workers. Because they say that offering the results is karma. If karma is servitorship. But Rupa Goswami ji has clearly denounced it. And he has made and mentioned constant engagement in some kind of service to Lord is important. Because those who are engaged in fruity activities or prescribed duties according to the Varnashrama Dharma are not actually pure devotees. But because they are offering the results to the Lord, they are accepted as devotees. So we have to be very careful. So Karmarpanam Bhakti is not what we are looking at, or Karmarpanam Dasyam is not what we are looking at. What we are looking at is Kainkaryam, which is an advanced type of servitude. So here we engage in the 9 process of devotional service with very deep concentration in the mood of being personal attendant to the Lord. This expectation that, oh, I am your das. And this duty has come to me, so I'm doing this. When that is the objective, I'm doing this for you, then it is Kainkaryam. There is a verse from Madhya Purana, as we saw in the earlier slide, which illustrates this mood. this tireless endeavor to serve with Krishna. So maybe the authorities have told you that, okay, you have to visit the temple and do the bathing, dressing, and cleaning and decorating of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, Mai, Sudarshan Bhagwan. And you go there, you use your body, your mind, your senses to do their service, to bath them daily, to cleanse them, to decorate them with new clothes, to prepare newer and different types of pagdi for them. Just because Krishna wants, Jagannath Ji wants. He wants to look different. When you are in this kind of servitude, then it is Kainkaryam. Iha yasya harera daste karmana manasa gira nikhilashva api asthasu jivan muktah sa uchyate. That is that shloka from Madhya Purana. So what it means is a person acting in the service of Krishna with body, mind, intelligence and words. Karmana manasa gira nikhilasi. Harer dasya is a liberated person even within this material world. Api avasthasu. Although he may be engaged in so many called material activities, jivan muktaha. So we have to come to this level. If you are doing some seva, then this has to be moved. Kainkaryam. This is also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela. So after having understood this servitude, it is also important to understand that it can start with anything. So like now, we are going to be having this month. The December month is a month of book marathon. So book marathon is going to start now. So it is expected, Prabhupada ji has told us that you have to do only 2 marathons in a year. One is book distribution marathon for 1 month, and the other is the donation collection for Janmashtami. So we have already completed that. Now comes our major focus. We have to do a lot of book distribution now in the coming month. So be it small books, be it Bhagavad Gita, be it Bhagavatam set, we have to go to everyone. We have to let the message pass to everyone. And the best way for that is distributing the books. Prabhupada ji says that one who preaches, one who distributes the book is very dear to him. And he'll personally ensure that he goes back to God. So I request all of you to gear up, to start preparing a list of people whom you want to approach, the societies where you want to go, the offices where you want to visit, the schools where you want to visit, so that you can distribute a lot of books. And please, Srila Prabhupada. That will be servitude. Second aspect is sakhyam or friendship. Now, this is a little advanced kind of a relationship. Here what happens is we serve the Lord as his friend. So again, friendship can be on 2 levels. It could be wherein we are a senior and we are saying something to our friend, or it could be at a peer level. So similarly, this service, this sakyam in the scriptures is defined as 2 levels. One is a well-wishing friend, wherein it's a senior, and second is a confidential friend. See, if you have to share our deepest of secrets, whom we share to our confidential friend, who generally is our peer. So we can serve Lord as a friend, wherein we are well-wishing, or where it is a confidential. Now, when it comes to well-wishing friend, there are 2 aspects to it. Krishna is my well-wisher. So Krishna is my well-wisher, so he is my friend. So well-wishing friend is Krishna. Or second could be, I am Krishna's well-wisher. So whatever Krishna wants, I need to fulfill. I need to do. So well-wishing could be on both sides. We have to accept both of them. And as far as a confidential friend is concerned, what it means is, it's a very advanced stage. We begin to serve Lord intimately. We forget all formalities. Only thing is pleasing the Lord, as if we are on equal level. So the Gopas, which we see in the Katha, so they were all his intimate friends, right? They had come at that confidential level. Understanding Krishna is my well-wisher. So here we treat Krishna as our ever-protective, well-wishing friend. And we know that he is going to help us. And when we say, I am Krishna's well-wisher, Srila Prabhupada mentions and clarifies that one who preaches on behalf of Krishna is actually the well-wisher of the Lord, for he desires to increase Krishna's service and pleasure. So that is how we have to understand when we are talking about Sakhyam. Draupadi had the kind of friendship wherein she used to consider Krishna as her well-wisher. So she depended on his protection and blessings. We know this in the story very clearly. And preaching is also a way of practicing friendship with Krishna, as explained by Srila Prabhupada. So it is now up to us what kind of a mood we develop, what kind of attitude we develop, what is our relationship with Krishna that comes out. So as we start practicing bhakti, one or the other relationship will come up. The next item that we try to understand is Atma Nivedanam. Now, Atma Nivedanam is an important aspect. So what does Atma Nivedanam mean? Atma Nivedanam means complete surrender. So Atma basically means self, and Nivedanam means surrender. So here what is done is we are surrendering completely. So Atma Nivedanam is surrendering everything to the Lord. Now here when we are saying Atma, depending upon the context, the Acharyas have said that there are two different meanings. In a conventional sense, self refers to a body or a mind. That okay, this self, body, mind. But when we are talking on a transcendental sense, then self refers to the spirit soul, the consciousness. And so self-surrender has two aspects. Atma Nivedanam has two aspects. One, surrender of the body and mind. And second, surrender of the soul, the I. What do you say? I am not well. My heart is beating fast. My head is aching. My hand is trembling. So this I, my, that different from this body and mind. That I, soul. So Atma Nivedanam could be just using this body and mind, surrendering this, or it could be the surrender of actually the soul or the I. So scriptures have given a lot of examples about this, so which we'll see now in the presentation. So Atma Nivedanam is complete surrender. It is an advanced devotional practice, because here what happens is we are giving up all kinds of attachments, any kind of a concept of self-identity. We are giving it up, whether the body or even soul, because we want to engage everything completely in Krishna's service, and that is why it is an advanced devotional practice. So prayer of Yamunacharya, wherein Yamunacharya said, whatever state I offer my state in your service, human, demigod or animal. That is what Yamunacharya said. So this is an example of self being defined as a soul. It illustrates that a devotee is abandoning all attachments, material identity, self-concepts, everything. He's just seeking favor as Krishna's servant. Srila Yamunacharya ki jai. And then we have a statement from Haribhakti Vivek, which also exemplifies surrender of all bodily concerns. What it says is, just as a sold out animal does not think about maintenance, similarly, devotees does not think about his sustenance. We see so many animals being purchased and sold. Do they ever think, okay, where will I get my bread next day or grass next day? No. It does not matter to them. They don't think about it. They completely depend on their master. Today this master, tomorrow that master. Similarly, we have to depend completely on a master who is a perpetual master. That is Krishna. So we do not think of our sustenance. Oh, tomorrow the inflation may increase, so I need to have more money in my bank account. We don't know whether tomorrow I may have a job, I may not have a job. What do I do? No such worries for a devotee. Whether he works in Twitter or Meta or anywhere, whether he is having a job or not having a job, he is not worried because he is completely dependent on Krishna, who will take care of his sustenance. And that is the real Atma Nivedana. Whatever you have, you give everything to Krishna. So when we are saying self-surrender, the Shastras have been talking about two aspects again here. Offering a favorite article. So they say that you should offer a favorite article, whatever is our most favorite article, that should be offered to Krishna. Or it should be surrendering unto Krishna the things he holds most dear. So if tomorrow I say that, oh, I love to eat laddus, all the laddus are for Krishna. I don't want any laddus. So offering what we like and offering what Krishna likes, it has to be given. And second aspect is performing all endeavors only for Krishna. That's also Atma Nivedana. We should surrender our daily works and duties and total them in Krishna's service. So whatever we do, it's for Krishna. Whatever we earn, it's for Krishna. And if Krishna wants, he will give back to me. So we have to engage in all the activities which are prescribed in Shastra and which are accepted for livelihood. The moment we start doing it, then it is Atma Nivedana. And the best example of Atma Nivedana is Bali Maharaj. He gave up everything. When 3 boons were asked, 3 not boons, 3 feet space was asked, he said, I give. And what did Vamandev do? He enlarged himself. And within 2 feet, he covered up everything. All the 3 lokas. And then asked, where do I put my 3rd foot now? And what did Bali Maharaj say? Put on my head. That's complete surrenderance. He put the feet on the head, and he went down in the Patal Loka. Vamanji, Lord Krishna, was happy. He asked the boon and he said, you be my guard. Just see. That's service. That's the real service which he had reached. Now, Atma Nivedanam sometimes get confused with Sharanapati, that is becoming a surrendered soul. But then they are different, as you can see here. Atma Nivedanam is surrender in the sense of renunciation. And Sharanapati is in the sense of taking shelter. So Krishna is superior, so we take his shelter. Hari Bhakti Vilas says, one who says, I am yours, and with conviction acts with his body, mind, and words, can reach the transcendental place. But Narsidev has said, anyone who prays unto me and takes shelter from me becomes my ward, and I protect him always from all sorts of calamities. So Sharanapati, surrendered soul, becoming a surrendered soul. That Krishna, you are everything. I am yours. I seek your shelter so that I get out of the clutches of Maya. That is Sharanam. And the last aspect is serving trees such as Tulsi. So here again, sometimes we get confused between item 10 and 53 because item 10 also said that something about it, but then there is a difference. Item 10 was to respect living entities who are related to Krishna. Banyan tree, cows, brahmanas, tulsi. So respecting them. And this item 53 is talking about how to daily serve entities, especially Tulsi Devi. So Tulsi Devi is very important. Skanda Purana says that if we serve Tulsi Devi, then immediately it vanquishes all our sins. We get relieved of all distresses and diseases. We will not be sent to the court of Yamaraja. And anyone who is involved in drishta, sprishta, dhyata, kirtita, namita, stupita, rupita, sevita, pujita, eternally lives in Vaikuntha planets. Now, we'll discuss this further right now. So, it is important that we serve Tulsi Devi. If someone sows a Tulsi tree somewhere, certainly he becomes devoted to Lord Krishna. So, you should try to endeavor to serve Tulsi. We have to sow Tulsi trees. We have to increase the Tulsi trees and keep on serving him. And then it is also said, when Tulsi leaves are offered in devotion at the lotus feet of Krishna, there is the full development of love. So how do we serve Tulsi? Very simple. Seeing, praying to Tulsi Maharani, going before her, hearing about, serving the tree. It's always auspiciousness. That is what we have to achieve. Radhe Radhe. What I'm doing is there's one very good book about how to serve Tulsi. So I have shared that in the Google Drive, and I'm also sharing that in the chat box right now. So I would request you to take that also today with you and try to read it. It's a very good book. Also, if you have any questions, you may please ask them and we'll try to respond to them. Hare Krishna. So we are on time today. I'm sharing the attendance link.
Rupa, in Nectar of Devotion, it is mentioned about Rupa Goswami and Srila Goswami. They were ministers at very elevated position in the government, and they left everything for the sake of Krishna, and they took Krishna consciousness. While we people run behind all this activities, so is it possible that for people like us, we can also attain Krishna? We cannot leave everything and become like them. But how to attain Krishna? Doing everything as a sense of duty and service to Him, fulfilling our responsibilities also in our family, responsibility towards everyone, thinking that we are serving the Lord. I'm doing this for the Lord. I give the fruit of this activity to the Lord so that we don't keep attachment for anyone. And at the same time, serving Krishna. Can we attain Him?
Yes, Mataji, we can attain him. We can attain Krishna, and that is the process which is being taught to us. We just have to follow these 64 items of bhakti, devotional service, 10 items to do, 10 items to avoid, and the other items. It's a process, as we are discussing since last couple of months now, and slowly and steadily that change happens. Cheto Darpan Marjanam happens, and the pure Prema Bhakti, which is lying in our heart, gets uncovered, and we automatically become attached to Krishna and detached from all the material aspects while simultaneously doing them for pleasing Krishna. So, the moment that happens, Krishna becomes pleased, and we get that power to ensure that at that last moment, when we are going to be leaving this body, we are remembering him. And Krishna has promised, Antakalecha mam eva smaram muktva kalevaram. Anyone who is successful to remember me at the last point of Dehantara, he will not have to go for a Dehantar because he will directly come to my abode permanently. So this process that we are talking about, this whole aspect that we are discussing in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu is about how to do those 64 items of devotional service so that our mind becomes engaged. We have a better control of mind, and this ensures that at the last moment we remember Krishna and go back to Godhead. So we have not reached the stage of what Srila Rupa Goswami Ji, Sri Sanatan Goswami Ji had reached. We are neophytes. When we go into this Vaidhi Bhakti, the sadhana bhakti, then slowly, steadily we will progress one by one. From a neophyte, we may become a Kanishta Adhikari, then a Madhyam Adhikari, and then someday we may become a Uttam Adhikari. That is what we have been reading. And that is why my humble request, throughout the week we are not meeting. We are meeting only on Saturday, Sunday on these important topics. But you should take some time off every day, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Try to listen what we have studied till now, or go through the presentations which are stored on the Google Drive, revise them, and if you can, actually read the book, which again has been stored on the Google Drive. So what happens is when we are seeing this summarization in the presentation form repeatedly, from conscious mind, it will go to the subconscious mind, and it will help us in actually transformative change. So instead of doing any conscious activity, subconsciously we'll start doing all those 64 activities slowly, and will become evolved. That is the whole objective of this Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, which was started on the weekends. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji,
Hopefully I have
one more
answered your
question.
query.
Prabhuji, one more question. There is the mention of one king in I don't remember his name. He was cursed by some sage, and all his senses, all the senses of the king was involved in the devotional service of the Lord. So, like in our mind, at times useless thoughts enter. So they are very disturbing. Any sort of thoughts can enter our mind. It's very difficult to control the mind. So how to engage our mind fully in Krishna?
A, B, C, D is the answer to your question, Mataji.
Yes,
Association, reading of the
books,
scriptures, chanting,
and diet.
DT dressing, and diet. D also means DT worship, Mataji. We forget that D also stands for DT worship, and we are seeing these 64 items wherein it is clearly mentioned. We have to also do 7 seva. If you remember, every day, every week, when we have started understanding, we are talking about this third shloka besides the first 2 shloka. And what does that third shloka is? We are remembering is Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavata Shravana Mathura Vashri Murtera Shraddhaya Sevana. So if we do these 5 principal activities, that is association with devotees, chanting the holy name of the Lord, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, reciting at Mathura, and worshipping the deity with faith and veneration, then definitely it happens. And as Mataji has responded here, I think it's Narsimhan ji has responded here by practice. So that is very important. You have to practice, Mataji, practice. Surrender to Krishna. Sharnagati, which we saw right now, Sharnapati. Surrender completely and see the results. Hare Krishna. Mataji, you just click on the message which I have shared.